fix upon the tomb.
The forgotten apostle chosen by God. The streets of Jerusalem were heavy with sorrow after the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The disciples still remembered the terrible night Jesus was betrayed. Judas Iscariot, one of the 12 apostles, had turned against the Lord for money. After realizing the horror of what he had done, Judas died, leaving an empty place among the apostles. But the followers of Jesus believed that the number of the 12 apostles had to remain complete. Among the many disciples who had quietly followed Jesus through the years was a humble man named Matthias. He was not famous. He was not often mentioned. Yet from the beginning, Matthias had stayed close to Christ. He listened to Jesus preach to the crowds, watched him heal the sick, saw the miracles, and remained faithful even during dangerous times when others ran away in fear. While many people knew Peter, James, and John, few noticed Matthias. But heaven noticed him. One day, the apostle Peter gathered the believers together. "We must choose someone," Peter said, "to take the place left by Judas." 2 faithful men were presented before the community. One was Joseph Barsabbas. The other was Matthias. The apostles did not choose by pride or popularity. Instead, they prayed deeply. "Lord, you know every heart. Show us whom you have chosen." Then they cast lots, trusting God completely. And the choice fell upon Matthias. At that moment, the quiet disciple became one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. After Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit descended upon the apostles like tongues of fire, Matthias went out boldly to preach the gospel. He traveled far from Jerusalem, carrying the message of Christ into difficult lands filled with persecution and danger. Ancient Christian traditions say he preached in regions around Judea, Ethiopia, and near the Caspian Sea. Many people rejected him. Some mocked him. Others threatened his life. But Matthias never denied Jesus. He remembered the suffering of Christ and continued preaching with courage. Eventually, enemies of Christianity arrested him. According to tradition, Saint Matthias was killed for refusing to stop preaching about Jesus. He died as a martyr, faithful to the very end. Why is Saint Matthias celebrated on May 14th? The Catholic Church celebrates Saint Matthias on May 14th because this date was assigned as his feast day in the Church's liturgical calendar to honor his life, apostleship, and martyrdom. For many centuries his feast was celebrated on February 24th, but after reforms to the Roman Catholic liturgical calendar, it was moved to May 14th. The new date places his celebration closer to the feast of the Ascension of Jesus, because Matthias was chosen as an apostle shortly after the Ascension and before Pentecost. His feast reminds Christians that God often chooses humble and hidden people for great missions. Faithfulness matters more than fame. True disciples remain loyal to Christ no matter the cost. Today, Catholics around the world remember Saint Matthias as the apostle who filled the empty place left by betrayal and became a symbol of quiet faithfulness.